students, welcome to next class of the superconductivity. So in the previous video we learned regarding the type 1 type 2. Okay, so type 1 2 superconductors. Okay, in that we came across one factor, one I can say effect, that's called Misner. Okay, Misner effect, because type 1 strictly obey the Misner effect we learnt, whereas type 2 will not is not obeying strictly the Misner's effect of superconducting. What is this Misner effect? So this Misner effect was been proposed by the name itself, that is Misner, okay, in 1933, okay, by the Misner and Oceanfield, Oschen, okay, he discovered this 1933 and proved that the superconductors behave perfect. They proved that superconductors they behave perfect diamagnetic substance, okay. Now, so if you see in simple diagram, if I take this specimen of the superconductor here, so like this, okay, now I cool this, okay, and what I'm going to see is something like this, okay, this way, okay, and this happens, this is your magnetic flux, okay, whatever I mean, this is your magnetic flux, okay, and this is your temperature. If you take greater than Tc, okay, that is temperature here is more than critical. Tc is your critical temperature, so Tc is your critical temperature, okay, and magnetic flux we are passing it here at initial stage, okay, this is a normal state here, normal state, okay, and after cooling, so what happens here now, here in this expelled magnetic field is expelled from the specimen here. This case happens when temperature is less than Tc, that is your critical critical temperature. So the magnetic field is expelled here, magnetic field is expelled out from the here, okay. So this is what about the we can say the Mr. effect say, okay, you take a normal state here, this is a normal state here, okay, normal specimen, normal this one where the temperature is greater than critical temperature, and if you cool this substance specimen, what will happen now, they become superconductor, as we have learned, okay, they become now superconductor state here, they become superconductor state where T is less than temperature, okay, always temperature should be less than critical temperature. Now you apply the magnetic field. When you apply magnetic field here, okay, so what will happen now, the same specimen will be there here, but whatever the magnetic field is there, so it will expelled out like this, okay, so this will going to be expelled out, okay, so this magnetic field is expelled out when you apply the magnetic field in the superconductor, that we call it as what, the Misner effect. Now if I want to put this into the into like the statement here, so in the states that the Misner effect, okay, states that, okay, if a superconducting conductor is cooled, if a superconductor is cooled, okay, what will happen in a magnetic field, okay, if a superconductor is cooled in a magnetic field down to critical temperature, magnetic field down to critical temperature, okay, down to critical temperature, that is your Tc, the magnetic field lines, the magnetic field lines are pushed out, are expelled out, are expelled out, okay, so of a body, so expelled out of a superconductor, this also is called as flux, exclusion, okay, so that effect we called as a Misner effect, okay. Now Mathematically, if you want to show the flux density, okay, flux density is given by vector b vector b quantity here in a magnetic material. It is related to strength of applied field, related to strength of applied field. Okay, strength of applied field, that is your H vector H. Okay, so that it is stated by the mathematical impression that B vector is equal to mu naught into H vector plus M vector. Okay, this is what is this M vector here? So this M vector is nothing but your intensity of magnetization. Okay, this is your M vector here. And what about H vector? Applied field strength. This one H applied field strength, okay. H vector is your applied field strength. B vector magnetic flux density. B vector is your magnetic flux density. So according to Misner effect, okay, at temperature less than Tc, magnetic flux B is equal to 0. You know that is expelled, so B is equal to 0. So therefore, according to this equation, it becomes 0 is equal to mu naught into H vector plus M vector. So this I can write it as here H vector plus M vector is equal to 0, or I can write here H vector is equal to minus M vector. Okay, so this is how I can correlate this. So this you can take it as equation 1, H vector is equal to minus M vector. Okay, this you can take it as a equation 1 here. Now what about the magnetic susceptibility? What is magnetic susceptibility say? Magnetic susceptibility, that is represented as chi. Okay, so this chi is nothing but is given by magnetic susceptibility, that is intensity of magnetization divided by H vector, okay, field applied, which is can be written as magnetic susceptibility divided by H vector. We are derived here is what? Minus M. Okay, minus M vector. See here. Okay, M vector divided by minus M vector, which is equal to minus 1. See, so you got it as minus 1. Chi value has come to be minus 1 here. Okay, so for superconductivity state, the magnetic susceptibility has come minus 1. Okay, minus 1 means what? Which substance has the chi minus 1? It's diamagnetic. Okay, that is a diamagnetic substance. Okay, so this is how we proved that the behave like a perfect diamagnetic substance. Superconductors behave as a perfect diamagnetic substance as per the Misner effect, so which has got the value of minus 1 here. Okay, so this is called your Misner's effect. So this is more than sufficient for the Misner's effect, which proved that the superconductors are perfectly behaving as a diamagnetic in nature. Okay, now we'll go for the next theory of the superconductivity, that is your London theory. So in the previous this one I have taken it here, that BCS theory in the previous video. So because theories is very much important, so London theory is also very much important, which was proposed by London brothers. They are F London and H London. Okay, so in 1935 they gave a theory that is called London equation. Okay, London's equation or London theory. According to this theory, the two electrons are found. They say the two electrons are found here according to this theory, and they are, one is normal electron, and he says the second one, that is a super electrons, that is your super electrons. Okay, when the temperature, you say for example you take this cylinder like this, okay, and you apply here the battery here like this, okay, and these are the electrons now here inside this like this, and you can take a unit cell here of the electron, one unit cell of the electron here, and this is a superconductor specimen here, this is a battery. okay, and this is a positive charge now, because here big is positive, small is negative. This is a negative, this is a unit volume, okay. So what does this theory says here? So according to this theory, two electrons, that is your normal and super electrons, so when temperature of superconductor is increased, okay, I will write here, when temperature of superconductor is increased, okay, what will happen? Number of normal electrons also increases. Usually number of normal electrons also increased, okay. But when the temperature of superconductor is decreased, okay, the number of normal electron also decreased, okay, and super electrons are increases, and super electron increases, okay. Normal electron decreases but super electron increases at 0 Kelvin. This is important. At 0 Kelvin, all the electrons of superconductors are super electrons. At 0 Kelvin, all the electrons of super of superconductors are super electrons, this is important, are super electrons. So this is shown by the London, okay, and they behave like normal electrons will be less, and at 0 Kelvin all electrons will be super electrons, and they behave as a superconductor, okay. At a higher temperature, what happens? The number of normal electrons are more and super electrons are less, okay, and that's why they behave as a conductor. But as you decrease the temperature, number of normal electron also decreases but super electron increases here, and they are near to superconductors. At 0 Kelvin, all the electrons will be super electrons, and they perfectly behave as a superconductor now, like in mercury, okay. So Oppenheimer has said that at 4.2 Kelvin, so all this mercury behave as a superconductor. So this is how. So this is what at 4.2 Kelvin, but at 0 Kelvin, definitely all electrons will be super electrons, and you can see that it is going to convert into this one, and then the derivation will be there, okay. So when electric field is applied, positive, negative field, okay, and usually the electric flow from the positive to negative electric field, okay, positive to negative, the electric field is gone. So reverse of this will be the electrons flow. So electrons flow, reverse of the electric field, so electrons field go like this, okay. So this is how we can show here. So electrons, they drift towards the positive charge always, okay. And then some derivation is given, that is your electric field, which is force by charge, is nothing but by force by charge, that is equal to F vector by E electron minus charge electron, or I can write E is equal to minus E into E vector. Force is equal to minus E into E vector, okay. So but what about force here? Force vector is nothing but mass into acceleration vector. Acceleration is vector quantity, force is mass into acceleration, okay. So that's why force vector will be equal to mass into what is acceleration. Acceleration is a d, velocity of the super electron divided by dt. So that is what, okay. What is F vector? So I have given it minus E into E here, okay. So which is equal to mass m into d vs by dt, okay. So this is what we have taken this as equation as one here. So minus E, that is what vs is nothing but your velocity of super electrons, okay. So this is your velocity of the super electrons, okay. So this is how we can show here. Now here and E is what applied electric field. So this E is nothing but your electric field applied. This is your E vector is your applied electric field here, okay. When which is applied across the superconductor specimen here, specimen, okay. And then the motion of the super electrons is given by this formula, that is F bar is equal to E into, this is the motion of the electron is given by this formula here, okay. And acceleration, that is dvs by dt. So overall you can see the equation one becomes this here, okay. And what the dvs, yes, this is your velocity. So yes, finally, okay. Or I can write in this way also. So differentiation of vs divided by dt is equal to minus e into e vector, okay, divided by m. M is there here, yeah, divided by m. So I'm taking this here. Okay, so this also I can take as that equation 2 here. Okay, and this velocity of this this one is given by your j value, that is current j. So I can take it differentiating, so I can take this equation 2, this as here now js, that is current. Okay, which is equal to what is this? Okay, this is given by j is given by which is the current density. So j is nothing but your current density, and this j is given by nvc. Okay, so this all is a equate this calculating part here. So j vector is equal to minus nv vector and e electron. Okay, so now differentiating this, I can take it as a equation 3 here. Now differentiating this equation 3, what I will get now, d of js by dt is equal to minus n number of super electrons into e. Okay, that is into minus e vector divided by m. Okay, so that is nothing but, I will take here now, d of js by dt is equal to e into e, that is your e square, plus minus minus plus, so it becomes e square plus ns into e vector divided by m. Okay, so this is important equation for this effect here. Okay, now this equation, what it implies more here. Okay, now if I put this E is equal to 0, that is electric field, if I take it as a 0 here, E vector is equal to 0, what will happen here now? If I take this 0, this part, that is your differentiating part here, Js, so this Js will be equal to constant. Okay, so this is important. Okay, means if electric field is made 0 here, still we get a constant current. J is what? Current. Still we get a constant current, though the electric field is kept here 0. Okay, so this is what we get. This is what the superconductors are. This is what the superconductors are. Okay, so this is still, though we remove this electric field to 0, still we get current constant. Okay, according to this equation here, and that's why they are called superconductors. So we are proving it here. We are proving it in this case. Okay, for a normal conductor, what is there? So if current vector will be equal to E into E vector. Okay, for a normal conductor, this is equation for normal, not differentiation. This is equation for normal conductor. In normal conductor, if you put this electric field E vector is equal to 0, what will happen? The current here J vector will be also 0. See here, perfectly 0. Okay, that means there is no current flowing here. Once the electric field is 0, current flowing also will be 0. This is for the normal conductor. But here, when superconductors, even when you electric field equal to 0, the J current will be constant. That means there is still current flowing here once the electric field is 0. So that is superconductors. But here in normal conductors, once this electric field is equal to 0, applied electric field 0, current also becomes 0. Okay, so this is what we can prove from this equation, from this effect. Okay, that is our London effect or London theory. So understand this concept very nicely. So derivation is not so important, but the only thing is these two you have to keep in the mind here, normal and super electrons, and the temperature condition here. So as you increase the temperature, normal electrons also increases, but super electron decreases. But if you decrease the temperature, super electron increases. At 0 Kelvin, perfectly it will become the superconductors. And this is how the derivations goes now. When you apply the electric field, which is nothing but force by charge, it is given by F is equal to minus EA. So F is equal to mass into acceleration. So F is nothing but mass into acceleration is given by dvs by dt. So velocity of super electrons divided by dt, and this is nothing but current Js, and current Js is nothing but minus nv E. So now you keep it here, minus nv E into this factor minus E square m by d of Js by dt. So J is equal to, you know that, minus nvv. So we have substituted here. So d of Js by dt is equal to E square, now E into E is E square plus n SV divided by m. So now this is a final equation. You can keep this equation also in the, not to so much derivation. So you keep final equation, you can keep in the mind here. Now here what happens, if I keep this electric field applied is 0, this factor or differentiated factor becomes constant. That means if you keep this E factor as a 0 also, there is some current passing. This we require, okay. But in normal conductor, this is a equation here, and if we keep this E factor as a 0, this also becomes 0, okay. That is the normal. That's why once the electric field applied is 0, current also is 0. But in superconductor, still the current is flowing. This is what is proved by the London here, by the London. So this is what you can, according to BCS, we have learned, and this is what about the London's theory. Apart from this, there is one more theory, that is your Josephson effect. Josephson effect, okay. Josephson effect in 1962. Josephson effect, okay. This is what, and we can show this with some diagram here, like this. This is S1, this is S2. I will take it in this way. This is the partition here, insulating layer, thin insulating layer, okay, this one. And you can take another diagram here, so like this. This is old, you can take it here, and you can apply the ampere like this, okay. And you can take like this bar, like this, okay. This is the second diagram you can take, this is the first diagram you can take, and you can take the third diagram as same thing here, volt ammeter like this, and you can break it here like this. You can break it in this way, okay. This is voltmeter. So A is nothing but your ammeter, V is your voltmeter, okay, voltmeter, ammeter, okay. And this voltage always this showing 0 reading, this is showing 0 reading here, okay. So this is what here you can see here, the superconductors are divided into two equal halves. So same, this is a full superconductor half piece here, okay. Here it is divided into two halves. Superconductors are divided into two halves, okay, with a gap here. So air is there here, so air, you know, it's a bad conductor, so it's a gap, air is gap here, gap. So small gap you have kept it here, like here, okay. This is what thin gap here insulator is put here, this is good. So this is what about the Josephson effect. Now constitute of this one by one. If you go to now describe this, so that becomes a Josephson effect of the superconductors here. Now, so when what he says, when a small thin layer of this the nearly 1 nanometer gap, okay, nanometer gap, not centimeter, nanometer, very thin layer is sandwiched between these two superconductors, okay. So what he says, the supercurrent flows. So in the supercurrent flows, okay, supercurrent flows across this junction here, across this junction, without developing any voltage. Voltage 0, I said you, 0 reading, without developing any voltage, okay. Voltage is not developed, without developing any voltage. This phenomena is called Josephson effect. This phenomena is called Josephson effect, okay. So this is what here, insulating layer forms a weak link here. Insulating layer, whatever you are taking, forms a weak link between the two superconductors, okay. So this is very much important here. So whenever this is made condition, so current is going to flow between these two superconductors along with this thin layer gap here, and there is no reading in the voltage, okay. That means the current will not flow to this voltmeter. Why? Because the current is crossing across these superconductors like this, okay. It is not, so voltmeter is showing 0 reading here. So that is a specialty. Even if you keep a gap here, okay, if you keep 1 centimeter gap, definitely there will be the reading of voltage here, okay. Normal limiting voltage is going to be, open circuit voltage is going to be shown here. If you keep a gap of 1 centimeter, little bit far here, see here, voltage will show. But when you keep a very less distance here, that is 1 nanometer level, definitely again the reading will be 0. That means what does this say? Even in this small gap, there is current flow here, there is a current flow here between the superconductors, okay. So this effect, such type of effect, we call it as a Josephson effect, okay. So this is what about the about this this. Then again you can now you can make a statement of this all what I have explained now here, okay. A current is made to flow across a bar of a superconductor here, okay. And you can see a voltmeter is connected across this, voltmeter is connected here across this end of the battery, okay. Voltmeter is connected here across the end of the battery, okay. Very simple. then what is the voltmeter reading always shows 0 here, as I said in this case. Why? Suppose bar is cut into two pieces now, like this. Okay, if it is cut into two pieces, and the two pieces, if I make a centimeter, 1 centimeter, what will happen? So there will be voltage will be there, open current voltage will be shown here. So that time the voltage will be shown, open current voltage will be there shown. Now if I keep this distance to 1 nanometer, what will happen? Very less gap if I keep between these two some superconductors, what will happen now? The reading will be 0 again. Okay, again the voltage will show 0 reading. Okay, and that current that shows that the current flows across this gap, and this effect is called as a Josephson effect. Okay, so here all current is passed to some superconductor. Here all current is passed to superconductor, and no current passes through the voltage. Okay, and that effect we call it as a Josephson effect. Okay, so I think this is more than sufficient for this video. So in today's class we have learned regarding this Josephson effect and the London's theory. Okay, so London theory is a little bit with diagram, with reading write up part is okay, and if you go for mathematical derivation is not so much important, but also I tried with some of the derivative part, and finally the final equation in London's theory, that how effect of the E vector is equal to 0, how till you can see that the differentiated part of this will be equal is constant, that is the current is constant. This is what we have explained in London's theory. So that is, you can keep in the mind the final equation, and you can tell the conclusion part of the London, if that is more than sufficient. But maximum is what your BCS theory. Okay, BCS theory is very important if you are frequently asked in the examination. Okay, thank you.